I guess back to the question of CRI. Like, tell me what you can tell me, I guess, on camera.
Well, CRI is a bit of a strange subject with LED. CRI spectrum and the metering of CRI has always been based on incandescent lighting, HMI or tungsten. It's at this moment is a very grey area.
Right.
There's some very important reports that have been made by people far more intellectual than me regarding that issue. But basically, CRI reading is not been designed at this moment to read LED.
Right.
What we use our knowledge and experience from cinematography. We use the meters that the cinematographers use, and also, more importantly, if you ask any lighting technician who's done a gaffer or a cameraman, you can see good color temperature and you can see bad color temperature. The other easiest way to do it is take, for instance, an HD camera, a DSLR, set it to the color temperature as stated by that manufacturer,
yes.
And take a camera on that, set your camera to that setting, and see how that comes back.
Right.
That's the best way to see against all the copies who say they're that color, because when you set it and you take that image, you will see it doesn't actually run true.
Right.
Not only with color temperature, but also with color shift. Right. With all of our products, we aim to give a lamp that is, when turned on, it's the same color temperature as when you buy it, when it is 50,000 hours later.
Okay.
And the reason that 50,000 hours is that we never overdrive our LEDs.
I see.
We have a very strict guideline from our manufacturer, and when we abide to that, our lamps will stay the same color temperature and the same shift for more than 50,000 hours. Okay. As soon as you go past that parameter and you overdrive it, yes, you get more light output, but what you do, you dramatically decrease the lifetime. But more than that, you actually are then affecting the internal makeup of that LED and overheating it internally, which produces the sulfurs to turn green. So your lifetime is gone, and your light is then like a fluorescent, degenerating every time you use it.
Right.
With light panels, that doesn't happen.
So do you, I guess, are you running different technology for LEDs in your? Sorry, I forgot the name. The ENG.
ENG. Yes,
yeah, like the solar.
It's a different type of. It's a different LED.
So it's a higher density LED. Is that what it is, or?
Well, I can't really tell you what it is.
Okay, sure, no, fair enough. Yeah.
No, it's something that we've been developing with our manufacturer for the last 3 years.
I see.
Like any of our LEDs, they're not available off the shelf. They're made exclusively for us.
Okay.
You'll see many LEDs from various places who have actually copied our 1x1s who claim to be the same as us.
Yep.
But basically they're LEDs that you just buy off the shelf.
Right.
As I said regarding our 1x1s, every LED that we have has its own individual glass lens.
Okay.
And that will be to give you the lens being a 50-degree flood, 30-degree spot, or a 15-degree super spot. Every lens has a glass. Every LED has a glass lens.
Right.
A lot of the copies I just have a plastic cover. That's yes. When the demonstration we done earlier, you saw how directive
yes.
the beam was.
Right. Actually, back to the part about individual lenses too. Like, do you ever have issues with multiple shadows, like micro shadows or anything like that?
With the 1x1, just it's inevitable you are going to have multiple shadows
right.
because you have multiple sources.
Right.
You have like a motress. It doesn't give you the same. If you use then a diffusion in front, which we supply as an option for the diffusion. Yes. Obviously, the further away with the diffusion, the softer it is. But what that actually does, it eliminates the double shadowing.
Right.
What we have also, obviously, we produce products as an aesthetic for talent. We try to aim to get the most beautiful light for
the subject,
for the actor, yes. For the newsreader, for the interviewer. And in studio broadcast situations, what we did done by developing the Solar series, and I showed you the ENG, yep. I shall show you the Solar 6. This is then a 75-watt LED Fresnel.
Wow.
Power consumption equivalent to a 650 tungsten, or nearly the same as a 575.
Right.
Basically, again, what we have here, we have a 10-degree 70-degree angle. We also are dimmable 0 to 100.
And I guess, and so you can, are you battery powering this?
Here,
or okay.
If I go on here now, you'll see we are, spread it out a bit. Single source, single shadow.
It's pretty good.
Again, if I dim down, you'll see from 0, no change in the color, to nothing, a little bit, up to maximum.
I guess on the color of, I guess like color stability too. I was noticing on the adjustable, I guess like flood angle panel that you have, there's a slight bit of shift.
What it is, what we do, we work to a tolerance of +5 minus ±5 on the color temperature. What it is what you have is, because our selection is so strict, we can't go exactly on the nail on 3,200 or 5,600. The simple reason being is the percentage of that you have to have some play, which is the ±5, and that's also the same on the shift, on the correction of the greens and your magentas. Sometimes what happens is you might have a batch which is more on the +5 magenta, on the +5, but physically you will not see that on image.
Right.
The same on what we do on the bicolor is we only actually produce a flood version of the bicolor.
Right.
The reason being is to actually produce high quality tungsten LEDs is very difficult. The difficulty is actually trying to get the same output as the equivalent daylight version.
Right.
What we don't wish to do is put out a product which has so many lux on the daylight, and then when you switch it straight over to tungsten will be less.
Right.
The flood is exactly the same. The output level maximum on daylight is exactly the same as the output level of flood tungsten.
Okay.
So you're always on the same aperture, but you're just changing color.
Right.
What's not very handy for an end user, if you set your camera, your aperture for something, and you go back, you're losing, not only you're changing color temperature, but you're going to have to then change the stop.
Right.
So until manufacturers can bring us a product that actually will come up to our expectations, we will just keep only the flood version.
Okay, sounds good. Spencer, that was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it.